Welcome, it's Liz Bennett-Solsh here, Assistant Head Teacher, and I welcome you to our Year 11 Parents Information presentation. It's been really fantastic to see Year 11 back at school after their period of home learning. They've shown great resilience and determination to succeed, and now back in the classroom, they're really engaging with their learning, their teachers, and the variety of assessment opportunities they are being given. The Post-16 team have also been very complimentary about how this year group have approached their sixth form interviews. Pupils have been prepared and spoken in an articulate way about their choices and next steps. The main aim of this presentation is to give you information about how pupils will be awarded their teacher assessment grades at the end of Year 11. There are also specific presentations from each subject area. Mentoring meetings take place on Thursday the 18th of March or Monday the 22nd of March. The focus of these meetings will be on your child and what they can do now and up to the 18th of June, which is the date when final grades have to be submitted to the examination boards. We have published this presentation before mentoring meetings so that mentors can focus on your child and how they are taking the right steps over the next few months to do the best that they possibly can do. And just a reminder that GCSE Results Day has been brought forward by a week this year to Thursday the 12th of August. So, how will grades be awarded this summer? Teachers will assess students using a national standard, which will be defined by the exam boards before the Easter break. Departments will submit grades which will be quality assured by us, the school. This internal quality assurance process will have to be signed off by the exam board to ensure it is rigorous and in line with national standards. Our school results will be quality assured externally by the exam boards, and this may include random sampling of our school's evidence. If the exam boards are confident in our submitted results, then the exam boards will award students their final grades. If students do not think their results are accurate, they will have the right to appeal. So, do teachers award the grade? The answer simply is no. The grade students achieve will start with their teacher's assessment of their performance across a range of evidence. This is against a nationally defined standard, not the teacher's opinion. This assessment is then subject to both internal and external quality assurance before the final grade is awarded by the exam body as usual. Will an algorithm be used? No. Unlike last year, students' grades will not be changed by a formula. The internal and external quality assurance measures will all be done by humans, not an algorithm. There is no limit on the achievement of students, providing they have evidence that they are working at that grade. Teachers will only assess pupils on content they have taught. Because of the continued disruption of the pandemic, it's absolutely crucial that we assess students only on the content that they have been taught over the course of their GCSE syllabus. This means that students will not be disadvantaged either individually or as a whole class or indeed as a whole year group if they have been unable to complete their full course, or if a pupil was unable to take their PPEs, for example, or some aspect of assessment that might be coming up over the next few weeks. Grades can only be submitted on the basis of the evidence we have of students' performance. Students who would usually have extra time in the exams will benefit from the same arrangements in teacher assessment. So will grades be different between different schools and colleges? Again, the answer is no. The standard against which teachers will be assessing students is set nationally by the exam boards. This is the standard that will be used during external quality assurance and appeals to ensure consistency and fairness across the system. So can students discuss their grades with their teachers? Teachers will be able to discuss which evidence they are using to inform their judgment with students, included marked or graded pieces of work. However, we are not allowed to disclose their final submitted grade we give to the exam board. Students should not attempt to second guess the grade submitted, as teachers will be using a range of evidence to inform their final judgment. We also ask that students do not pressure teachers to reveal the grades they are submitting or to increase the grades, as doing so may be considered exam malpractice. Can pupils and parents make the case for why a student should get a higher grade? Our teachers are already using their professional expertise to assess students on the content they have been taught. Teachers are unable to submit higher grades for students unless they have the evidence that they are consistently working at this level. If teachers submit higher grades without evidence, they are committing exam malpractice. In 2020, any undue pressure by student or parents placed upon teachers or a school to increase grades was also considered exam malpractice, and it is the same for this year in 2021. If students or parents are found to be putting teachers or leaders under undue pressure to increase grades, then this matter will be referred to the exam boards, and an investigation into malpractice may ensue. So what follows now are some ways in which each subject area will come to their final judgments on pupils' GCSE grades. Departments will share information with students about the evidence base by Friday the 16th of April 2021, and students will have the opportunity to ask for other evidence to be considered by Friday the 23rd of April 2021. Pupils all have the chance to do better under these arrangements than if there had been exams. So the overriding message for Year 11 is: attend lessons, continue to work hard, continue to follow teachers' instructions, guidance and feedback, and please ask for help when you need to.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Year 11 information evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kirsten Best. I'm the leadership group member with responsibility for the sixth form, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to speak for a couple of minutes during this information evening, because actually this is very much the context of what is happening to Year 11 students at this moment in time. I'd just like to say that we've had several Teams meetings. We did it through PES, we've had online interviews for the sixth form, and our Year 11 students have been absolutely fantastic. They were really positive. They were very positive about their remote learning experiences, and they were very positive about how well they were doing in their subjects and how well they were going to do. The interviews were also positive because of the amount of thought that had gone into making decisions about what to study post-16. And there are a lot of decisions, as you can see there, 40 plus courses that students had to think about. They had to think about their current attainment and where they were going to be when they got their teacher assessments at the end of Year 11, and ensuring that they had the correct pathway into sixth form. And they really were very, very positive interviews. The other thing that students were saying was that, and I feel this very strongly actually, that they felt positively about having earned the grades. They really want to earn these grades, the grades that they are going to receive at the end of this academic year. They really want to ensure that they have done as much as is humanly possible to ensure that they are ready, that they've earned those qualifications, and that they can make the step up to sixth form. We've had some lovely information back from Cambridge University, for example, actually congratulating us on our current year 13 students who are making UCAS application. And one has come from Cambridge University saying actually they were so impressed with one of our students who was making an application to Cambridge, and they've offered her a place, saying, do we have any more like that? So I just want to say, Year 11, your efforts have been recognised. We can't wait to work with you in the sixth form. We'll be looking ahead to an induction day. Hopefully you'll be able to meet your teachers, but also you'll be able to get a real flavour once you've done those teacher assessments of the courses that you've chosen in the sixth form. I'd like to wish you every success over the coming months, making sure that you can consolidate that learning, and I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic time working together in the future. And I'm basing that on some incredible interviews that we've had. Well done and good luck.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Moore, the head of RE here at St Paul's. I wanted to share with you the department's plans for moving forward as we look at awarding grades in RE. I firstly wanted to take the opportunity to reassure you that the grades will be based on the holistic performance of each child and not just on their performance over the coming months. In the RE department, we pride ourselves on knowing the pupils that we teach, and we understand them, and we'll use this knowledge to help inform our judgments. We will give pupils as much help and support as is possible, and plenty of notice and opportunity to prepare in class and at home for any assessments. We will provide pupils feedback as we go, offering support and direction to ensure that there are no surprises when the final grade is awarded. We will standardise all assessments across the department and with other centres where it is appropriate to ensure that our systems are robust and reliable. Alongside all of the data and information that we already have about pupils, we will have a further 3 assessment points as outlined here on the slide. These will allow for a variety of topics to be assessed. Pupils will receive feedback and targets at each point to allow them to continue to make progress. Pupils may also offer additional work completed to be considered as we award their grades. At this time and going forward, I would ask and encourage that all pupils continue to work in the way that they would normally do so and show commitment and dedication to their studies in RE. I hope all of this information is reassuring for you and your child, and that you can see that we have a robust and transparent process in place in the RE department to ensure that our grades are accurate and fair for all pupils. If you have any questions or concerns, please do email me at my school email address on the slide or contact your children's class teacher. I wish all of the children every success in the coming months. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mr. Woodward and I'm the Head of History. Over the next couple of slides, I wanted to share with you and your child the plans we have moving forwards as we look to award grades this year in history. I also wanted to reassure you that the starting point of our accreditation of these grades is the holistic performance of each child, not just their performance over the next few months. Firstly, the History Department is planning a range of class assessments across the topics that we have revised in class and at home, either through independent learning or the recent remote learning. These assessments will be moderated amongst the History Department, making full use of the 3 AQA examiners within it to ensure a high standard of quality assurance. Secondly, students will be given notice of these assessments so that they can prepare fully and achieve the best they possibly can. Thirdly, pupils will be supported with directed revision activities in class and their independent learning. This ongoing support will also be skills-based, so not only will they know what historical knowledge to include, but how to best include these in their written responses. We will also, where appropriate, use model answers as part of their revision to demonstrate the characteristics of a mid and top range response. Fourthly, The History Department will provide ongoing feedback in lessons and especially after the assessments to support your child to make further progress in history before the end of the year. Finally, we will also be taking into account previous assessment opportunities such as the Year 11 PPE and other in-class assessments, as well as the assignment record during the most recent lockdown learning. All of this is to ensure that we have as much data and knowledge of your child when awarding the final grade. In order for you to support your child during this time, we ask that you encourage them to attend all their history lessons so that they have access to all the resources necessary for success that we as a department offer. Encourage them to focus in class, engaging with all the learning opportunities provided by their teachers and the resources given to them. We as a department have been developing revision skills throughout the whole of Year 11 and will continue to do so to try to maximise the potential of all pupils. Ask them to complete the ongoing revision activities at home and any other independent learning tasks that are set during this period. And finally, do emphasise the need for them to keep good communications with their teacher, whether this is in class and or via its learning, so that we are aware of any concerns, issues or challenges that they may be having. I do hope that I have reassured you and your child in Year 11 that we have a fair but robust and transparent schedule in history, and that this means that the awarded grade does not come as a surprise. If you do have any other questions, then please email me at my school email address. Thank you, and I wish your child every success in the coming months.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Underwood. In geography, we are determined to give all students the best opportunity to get a grade that they are really proud of. We understand our students well and will use this knowledge along with appropriate activities over the next few weeks to give everyone a chance to showcase their geographical knowledge and skills. We will focus on what they know and what they're good at. I hope students embrace this holistic approach and use every lesson to support their journey to their final grade. In particular, the department has designed a range of activities and assessments that will support students. We will also look at historical data, such as the December mock results and previous progress checks. We will be transparent with students and let them know when we're gathering evidence or working towards grades. There will be no surprises. Students will also be able to provide extra evidence if they wish. For example, they could put forward an excellent set of revision clocks completed during lockdown. Following this ethos, we will also plan directed revision activities so students are fully prepared to work towards a judgment. It is important that students follow advice and appreciate that every lesson counts at this stage. Students have also been working on practice questions and have been given model answers to help their progress further. Work will be regularly reviewed with feedback so they can further progress. Consequently, it is important that students attend all lessons, and if this is not possible, they should continue with their studies via remote learning. They should keep in contact with their class teacher and be willing to ask for support if needed. And finally, if you need any further information, please contact me at my email address. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Colin Hughes and I'm the Key Stage 4 Coordinator at St Paul's Catholic School. I am delighted to be speaking to you in regards to the way forward for Year 11. It has been an absolute pleasure welcoming them back this week, and they have settled well into their studies. In English, we are committed to ensuring that each pupil has a full opportunity to achieve a grade they are proud of in both English literature and English language. As a department, we do know our students really well, and we will support them in achieving their potential in this subject. In regards to the process of grading, judgments will be holistic and we will be basing those on a range of evidence. All pupils can be assured that they will have a timely and appropriate opportunities to demonstrate their knowledge and skills. It's vitally important that pupils recognise that each lesson continues to be important and that they do consistently engage with their learning. In terms of our holistic judgment, it will be based on a range of evidence, and this will include further opportunities to continue to demonstrate skills and knowledge across the breadth of our curriculum. We will be including an assessment opportunity this half term. Now that's coming up. That'll be in the last week of this half term, and that will involve English Language Paper 2, which is based around students analysing 2 non-fiction sources, and currently their teachers are preparing them for that. Following half term, when we come back, we will be then looking towards offering another assessment opportunity in 2 literature questions, Shakespeare and the 19th century novel. And once again, pupils will be fully prepared for these and supported in that process. The other thing we will be doing, of course, is looking towards historical data, most recently the December PPEs and any previous progress checks. It's worth mentioning that all of these assessments are supported through a rigorous standardisation and moderation process, and in that way we do ensure consistency across our department and also embed a quality assurance process. Please be rest assured that the department will provide ongoing support for all pupils in preparing them for these new assessment opportunities, and we will be reflecting with them on their learning at every stage of this process. I would like to emphasise at this stage, considering how we are supporting students, that we value your support very highly, and we do look forward to working in partnership with you to continue to support your child. Please encourage them to continue to engage with their English lessons and help us promote an awareness that every lesson remains very important. We have always made it clear that we encourage pupils to communicate with us if they have any questions or they need any further clarification or support, and we would be very grateful if you could also remind them of this. Finally, just to remind you that should you or your child have any questions or concerns, then please do not hesitate to contact us. And on that last slide, you'll see both the email details from myself, Colin Hughes, and also Miss Jagger, who is the head of English. Thank you very much for your time.
Here's how your child's teacher, your child, and you can all work together to secure the best possible grade for your child's GCSE in French, German, Italian or Spanish. Over the next couple of slides, I'll be explaining what we're going to do as a school. I'll be making some suggestions on how students can make the most of the opportunities that lay ahead of them, and also some advice for parents on how you can really compound what we're doing in school by supporting your child at home. I'll see you on the next slide. You can be reassured that we are working forensically to look at what your child can do right now. Where we feel that we don't yet have the evidence to show that they can do some of the skills they would need to demonstrate in the GCSE, you can be reassured that we will be providing them with some excellent opportunities to give us the evidence we will need to justify the grade we'll be awarding at the end of this cycle. We give you our word that we will do everything we can to be brilliant teachers. We will aim to give your child the work they need to have both the skills and the knowledge that they need to get a great grade. We'll use our imagination, we'll use our knowledge of your child over time to make sure that everything is available to them. What can our lovely students do? Well, it goes without saying that please attend lessons. When you're in the lesson, can you be as enthusiastic a participant as possible? We love it when we see those hands go up, when we see some work being created that means that we can go, oh yes, that's looking like a good grade. We like the questions that your children ask us because it provides us with insight into what they understand and what they don't. And it means that we can tailor our teaching to be exactly what your child needs. So a child that participates is a child that is going to get the best from their teacher and their teaching. And then our advice to students is this: when you're doing your work, whether it's at home or in the classroom, be deliberate. The tendency with all of us sometimes is to rush things. Well, don't do that. We have a few weeks to get some really amazing evidence from you. And in that time, we want you to be taking your time and investing effort to create work that you are truly proud of. And then deadlines. If a teacher asks you to complete something by the end of the lesson, make every effort to do that and involve the teacher if you're struggling to do that. If we set you some independent learning, meet those deadlines. Don't ask for an extension. And you could do that by starting it now. When you get home from school, start that homework. Get on with it. Avoid procrastinating, because your teacher, if you've been participating in the lessons, your teacher has prepared for you to be able to do this homework. So avoid procrastination. Don't put it off. That will just add some stress. How can you support your child at home? Now, this looks like a very lovely workspace, and it's probably not one that most of us have available. But as far as possible, think about whether there is a calm space in which your child can work. It might be in the corner of a room, it might be in their bedroom, but create a space where there's no distraction wherever possible. No TV, no mobile phone, no earphones, just your child and the work that's in front of them, so that they can mindfully work on the tasks that we've been asking them to do. Another big help for us would be if you know what's on your child's It's Learning calendar. Ask them to show you today's calendar. Look at the work that's been set by the teachers. And every day, once they've done their homework, ask your child to show you what they've done. Does it look enough? Do you feel it addresses what your teacher asked your child to do in the calendar? If it doesn't, maybe talk to your child about how they could maybe improve it. And as a general message, as a parent, if we could reassure you that doing works, if your child is actively producing something, then you can know that they are learning that work is being embedded in their memory, which is what they're going to need as they produce evidence for us over the course of the next few weeks. Sometimes your child, you might see them reading through their work. That really doesn't work. So ideally, we're looking for an active child who is doing something and producing something at the end of it that maybe you could encourage them to share with you. And finally, a word of reassurance. We know what we're doing. We are currently putting together a detailed schedule of how we will gather evidence from your child. None of this will be kept from them. Nothing will be sprung on you or your child. We will make sure that we teach language and skills and techniques that we know we need to enable your child to give us all the evidence to help them achieve their best possible grade. You can be calm about this. This whole process will only take a couple of months, and your child has a unique opportunity to show the world what he or she is made of.
Hi, my name is Miss Clark. I'm the head of maths here at St Paul's. With the announcement that we would be having centre assessed grades this summer, we've obviously been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to work out how we can make sure that our children get the best grades that we can possibly give them. And we're quite reassured in maths that we have a really good understanding of what pupils already know and what skills they can already demonstrate, and we're happy to be able to reflect that in their grades this summer. On the screen there you can see a bit of clarification over what we can use and what we intend to use to inform those judgments. And I want to reassure you that it's a really wide range of base of evidence, so we can include everything that we see pupils do. So this will be classwork, this will be remote learning. It will also be activities that are judged by outside agencies or external exam boards. For example, the Maths Watch tasks our students have been working on, or AQA exam board materials. In this way, we know that we'll have a variety of ways of assessing, a variety of ways of checking what pupils can do, and this means we can absolutely give them the best grade they can get in the summer. It's also important, really important, for students and pupils to understand that there are still plenty of opportunities to develop their knowledge further in this subject. Now, it hasn't stopped yet. We hope that they can continue to build their love for maths, but also their understanding of it, so that they are prepared for whatever next stage they are going on to after they finish their GCSEs. And we will absolutely be taking that into account. What I would do is I would urge students to make sure they are keeping in touch and communicating with their teachers about any extra work that they're doing as well, and teachers will be able to guide them in this so that it's appropriate work. But if there is something they're really proud of and they want the teacher to know about, please do encourage them to add it to its learning or to share it with their teacher so that that too can be included in our judgments. We know that they are doing incredibly well and they've been working really hard, and we hope to see that continue so that again we can help them to get their best grade this summer.
For triple and combined science, the teacher will make a full and complete judgment of the level that a pupil is working at based on a range of evidence. The evidence will include formal exam-based assessments that have been taken under exam conditions, Year 10 and Year 11 PPEs. There'll be exam-based assessments taking place after Easter that will also be used. Learning opportunities provided outside of lessons, such as homework and during periods of remote learning. Students' own work that can be authenticated. Engagement in lessons such as verbal contributions, participating in practical work and written work, which has been captured. Progress checks that have been based on evidence as described above. We will also be looking to use the assessment materials which will be provided by the exam board. These will be published by the end of March. Marks from online quizzing platforms that are being set as independent learning opportunities. In the time that pupils have remaining in Year 11, they have plenty of occasions for them to provide evidence of what scientific knowledge they have and the scientific subject-based skills they have. There will be opportunities inside and outside of lessons for directed revision-based activities which pupils should use in order to be successful. Across the technology subjects, teachers will make use of a range of evidence to make a holistic judgment about the level each pupil is working at. This evidence will include PPE results from recent exams, non-exam assessments and coursework. Other evidence which is likely to be drawn from the following: written submissions, including learning opportunities such as classwork, independent learning and work completed remotely on both non-exam assessments, courseworks and the examined content. Directed revision and activities planned specifically to enable each pupil to succeed, and a range of exam style or assessment style questions completed in class. Across all of these subjects there are a range of opportunities for each pupil to provide evidence of what they know and can do.
Hello, my name is Mr. Teds. I'm the Head of Business Studies and Computer Science. I'm just going to talk through the teacher assessment arrangements that are proposed for GCSE business. The teacher will make a holistic judgment of the level that each pupil is working at. That will be based on a range of evidence that has already been produced and also can be produced in the next 2 months. Work that has already taken place that we will be considering include written submissions such as homework and work that has been completed remotely. Also work that has been completed in class, both in written form and also verbal discussions. Assessments that have already taken place under examination conditions such as the Year 9 exam, the Year 10 PPE, the Year 11 PPE, and also an individual unit assessment that took place in the first term of this year. And also progress checks that have been informed by both the formal and summative assessments that I've already discussed. Coming up, we will also provide opportunities in a range of exam style questions that we're going to complete in class over the next couple of months, and that will be based on the unit that is currently being studied, marketing. Also, in mid-May, there's going to be one final formal assessment that we will undertake based on the marketing unit. That will be approximately 40 minutes in length. There's still plenty of opportunities for each pupil to provide evidence of what they know and how well they can perform. We're going to support this in lessons with directed revision and study activities that will help support each pupil get the grade that they specifically desire. And I'm just going to run through the arrangements that we propose in terms of teacher assessment grades for the computer science qualification. So the teacher will make a holistic judgment of the level that each pupil is working at, and that will be based on a range of evidence that has already been produced or could be produced in the next couple of months. Work that has already been produced includes written submissions that has actually taken place, such as homework and that work that has been completed remotely, as well as written engagement in lessons and also the contributions that pupils have made in class, such as within class discussions and question and answer sessions. There's already been a number of formal exam style assessments of which we will be taking evidence from. That includes the Year 9, 10 and 11 examinations. And also, of course, we've got progress checks that have mapped out and been informed by both the formal and summative assessments that have taken place to date. Coming up in the next couple of months, the teacher is also going to consider a range of evidence such as exam style questions that will be completed in class based on topics covered over the whole course, as well as marks from things such as online quizzes, again which will be based on topics that are currently being taught in class, and a formal assessment that will be taking place in mid-May. There's still plenty of opportunities for each pupil to provide evidence of what they know and what they can do, so there's still plenty of opportunity for pupils to get the best grade possible. And I'm going to run through the proposed teacher assessment arrangements for the Btec Digital Information Technology qualification. However, what I must state is at this present time the awarding body, Pearson, are still finalising their plans for awarding qualifications. If, however, we are permitted to do so, the teacher will be making a holistic judgment on the level that each pupil is working at based on the following evidence. So, component 1, user interfaces, a unit grade has already been awarded for this in the academic year 2019 to 2020. So that will be providing part of the evidence. For component 2, collecting and presenting data, a unit grade will be awarded based on the work that is completed in this unit and the results achieved in the current assignment, which encompass learning aims B and C. In other words, this is still a work in progress and that pupils are able to contribute at this present time. And then the final component, component 3, effective working practices. Evidence of this is likely to be drawn from the following sources. Exam board provided material, i.e. we will ask students to complete past paper questions, topic specific questions in end of unit review assessments, and that might be both factual and analytical in format. We'll also be expecting pupils to provide evidence of research and independent learning that will allow us to understand the quality that they can discuss and demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. And also there'll be some brief in-lesson assessments such as online quizzes and question and answer sessions, which again will provide pupils the opportunity to demonstrate the level that they are working at so that a grade can be given for component 3. What I must do is to reiterate again, however, that at this moment in time, the qualification level, the overall grade, although we are aiming to consider all of this evidence, we are subject to the awarding body's published parameters, i.e. their approval in terms of the way that we assess overall student grades. I'm just going to talk through the proposed teacher assessment arrangements for Btec Enterprise. But one of the first things that I must say is that the awarding body, Pearson are still finalising their plans for awarding qualifications, so these proposals are subject to change. If permitted, the teacher will be able to make a holistic judgment of the level that each pupil is working at based on the following criteria. We have Component 1, Exploring Enterprises, and this is a unit grade which will be awarded on the work that has already been completed and also the work that is going to be completed and the current assignments, which will incorporate all of the learning aims of that component. Component 2, Planning for and Pitching an Enterprise Activity, that unit a grade has already been awarded for in the academic year 2019 to 2020, so that will also contribute to any teacher assessment judgment. And then finally we have Component 3, Promotion and Finance for Enterprise. Now a unit grade was awarded in the academic year 2019 and 20 for this particular component, but if needed, pupils may have the opportunity to provide evidence to improve this grade because it was an external unit. If we provide this opportunity or are able to do so, this will include exam board provided materials, in other words, students will complete past paper questions, we will do end of topic assessments, and we'll also do other activities in class that will provide opportunities to allow pupils to show that they are working at a higher level than the grade already awarded for this particular unit. The qualification level, i.e. the overall grade, will consider evidence from all of these components, but again I must reiterate this will be subject to the awarding body's published parameters, which we are not yet clear on at this moment in time.
The GCSE Sociology course will take a holistic approach for the awarding of teacher assessments in 2021. The evidence which will be used will be drawn from the bank shown on the PowerPoint slide here. The first piece of evidence which will contribute towards the teacher assessment grades will be Year 10 and 11 PPE results. Following this, over the upcoming weeks, pupils will have a chance to complete a number of mini assessments within the class, and these will cover all 4 topic areas. The topic areas which will be covered will be families and households, education, crime and deviance, and social stratification. These mini assessments will draw on some of the materials provided by the examination board, and pupils will be given guidance for when these will take place before the Easter break. This will allow us to provide supported study during the lesson, to provide them with a range of resources to also allow them to prepare for these mini assessments, and then a chance for all 4 topics to be representative in these mini assessments. Alongside this, ongoing classwork is extremely important, and the completion of independent learning. Independent learning will be set weekly, with pupils handed in the following week, and this will therefore continue to provide evidence of where pupils are currently working at. And finally, there is the opportunity for previously assessed work from across the course to support evidence collection from all topic areas. This is again so that a representation of topics from paper 1 and paper 2 contribute towards teacher assessment grades. There are a number of opportunities, as you can see, still available for pupils to provide evidence, so it is really important that they capture these opportunities and make every second count. If you do have any questions, please feel free to send me an email on paul.knight@st-pauls.org.uk. The Btec Level 2 Health and Social Care course comprises of 3 components. Component 1 is Human Lifespan and Development, and this is an internally based assessed piece of coursework. Component 2, Health and Social Care Values and Services, is again a piece of internally assessed coursework. And finally, Component 3, Health and Wellbeing, which is an externally assessed examination. Now, both Components 1 and Component 3 were both banked in 2020 at the end of the academic year, as pupils were due to sit the exam at the end of Year 10, Component 3, and also submit their Component 1 coursework at the end or midway through Year 10. So both of these components have evidence banked. These grades have been shared throughout the year with Year 11 pupils, and they have been monitoring their progress using our internal subject trackers. This means that there is one remaining component left, which will support the collection of evidence for the Health and Social Care Teacher Assessment grade, and that is Component 2, Health and Social Care Values and Services. This is our ongoing evidence collection. Our Teacher Assessments 2021 will draw on evidence across all 3 components which have been collected throughout the course of study. The final component which pupils are currently working on, health and social care values and services, comprises of 2 internally assessed tasks, of which 1 task has already been submitted and marked. Pupils are currently working on their final task and have been producing some fantastic work so far, and they will be submitting their work on Thursday the 20th of April during their health and social care lessons. This work will be completed during lesson time, and we will still be providing work to support their progress for independent learning. We are currently waiting for the final guidance from the examination board, and will be making appropriate measures and implementing these once this information is published and provided. If you do have any questions, please do feel free to email Kelly Dennis at st-pauls.org.uk. Kelly is in charge of the Btec Health and Social Care course and Programme Leader, or myself, paul.knight@st-pauls.org.uk.
Students that have been studying sports studies for the past couple of years, their teacher assessment grade will be issued through the following assessments. They're all kind of suited to all different learners and will take into consideration 5 different areas that we've been looking across Year 10 and Year 11. The first one would be all of the sports media coursework, which we have completed. The sports leadership coursework completed in Year 10. There were also 2 assessments based on our exam unit, which were in Year 10. There was a mock exam, which we did in lesson, and 1 PPE. And then to start off, from this term, we are looking at LO4 bit of coursework, which we are completing in lesson, and we'll also be looking at practical assessments for individual or team sports, which we will focus on in our games lesson and our GCSE practical lesson.
The GCSE grade this year for Year 11 will be made up of a number of factors. Firstly, we have the NEA, which will be graded and internally moderated to ensure that the grades and the rank order are correct. Along with the NEA, you have the practical. This year, which is different to other years, where this Year 11 cohort will only be assessed in 2 sports, whereas normally it is 3. So we have the 2 sports along with the NEA already graded, going towards the overall assessment. We will also be considering the Year 10 PPE along with the most recent Year 11 PPE. And over the next few weeks, the pupils in lesson will be sitting internal assessments. They will sit a full paper 1 and a full paper 2, which again will be marked by the class teacher and will be taken under exam conditions. These internal grades will be, internal assessments, will be moderated, and they will also have plenty of opportunity to revise for these. Along with the internal assessment, there will be some smaller assessments which will be taking place during the next few weeks in class as well, where there will be a number of exam style questions given to the pupils to attempt, which again will just form the base of this assessment. And finally as well, we're waiting for external exam boards assessments, so some form of questions or bank of questions, half a paper. We're not quite sure what it is yet, but we're just waiting for OCR to give us a bit of guidance on that, and also give us the resources to do that. So if we feel that they are acceptable, we will then be using them as well to form our overall assessment for GCSE PE.
Students in drama will have the opportunity to work on a folder of evidence that will be marked and moderated by the department staff and will allow students the chance to demonstrate their ability. This will be made up of work already completed and work to be produced. The GCSE is split into 3 components, so we will collate evidence to support these. Component 1 is devising, 40% of the course. Component 2 is performance, 20% of the course. And Component 3 is theatre makers in practice, originally the written exam and 40% of the course. Examples of evidence for each component will be as follows. For Component 1 devising, there will be a devised performance marked out of 15, most have already completed this, a supporting portfolio marked out of 45, which again most have completed, and a redrafted portfolio after teacher feedback. For Component 2 performance, there will be a performance of a monologue from a play selected in school. For Component 3, Theatre Makers in Practice, originally the written exam, there will be PPE papers and subsequent redrafts of answers, presentations about an inspector calls design elements, presentations evaluating the production of Small Island, live theatre, and practical assessments showing evidence of C3 understanding, and any other workbook or practical work that the student would like to submit. Music students will develop a folder of evidence that will include evidence from all three of the course components. This will give students the opportunity to demonstrate their progress, effort and ability. The following evidence will be required. For the non-exam assessment, 1 completed composition of a 1-minute duration. This will be internally moderated with weekly feedback, so students have the opportunity to maximise their marks. Students will provide a minimum of 1 performance that will be recorded during lesson time. For listening and appraising, pupils' PPE will partially contribute somewhat to their final grades, along with their classwork and independent learning, which will include listening tasks, past paper questions, knowledge of keywords, music theory activities. To support your child during this time, we ask that you encourage them to attend all lessons on time, to focus in class and engage with all the learning opportunities provided, to practice their performance pieces frequently, to complete independent learning and revision tasks set, to listen to music of all styles and genres to support with the unfamiliar music listening questions, and to keep good communication open with their teacher, in class and or via its learning. If you have any questions at all, please contact Miss Swords, the Head of Music, or Miss Andrews, the Teacher of Music. Their email addresses are on screen now.
The Art and Design GCSE consists of 4 assessment objectives outlined on this slide. Each one is worth up to 18 marks. Throughout the course, students have been working on projects that ensure all the assessment objectives have been covered as they progress through the unit. When students hand in their sketchbooks and folders of work, their teachers will assess how well they have met the criteria for each assessment objective and award marks accordingly. This will then be converted into a GCSE grade. Over the coming weeks, students will have the opportunity to improve their work and complete any unfinished pieces to ensure they attain the grade they deserve.